Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connarton from IPMNation.com here with you. And on the show, of course, every week we bring you a lot of great New Hampshire-based music. Although the individual we're going to be featuring tonight started out in New Hampshire, but then worked more in Massachusetts, but, still had a lot of ties to the New Hampshire music scene. The reason I say that in the past tense is we just lost. In fact, it's still the same week as I record this on Saturday night. This week we lost someone who I had a lot of respect for, and so many people in the scene did. His name was Mike Zaker, but he also was known professionally as Michael Spaulding. And tonight, we're going to feature, I never got a chance to actually interview him on this program, but he passed away unexpectedly in his late 30s. I don't know any details on what happened, and it's just so young and just such a talented guy. So I never got a chance to interview him, but I was very, very shocked to learn of his passing. And I'll tell you a little bit of a story. So I never got to know Mike that well personally, but I knew him professionally, of course. I knew him from the scene. He was in a band called First Shove when I first met him. And I was in a band at that time called My Life Crisis, and First Shove and My Life Crisis played quite a few shows together. So I would often share the stage with him, just not at the same time. But I always really liked him. I was always impressed with him, and just a really remarkable guitar player. And by the way, he could do other things too. He was a DJ, really good singer, and songwriter, and just an enormously talented guy. But so that was when I first met him. Of course, my band at the time, My Life Crisis, we would open a lot of shows for First Shove. And then later, I ended up becoming a member of First Shove, but he was already out of the band at that point. So, and this, we're going back like 15 years now. Oh my God, I can't believe it's been that long. Maybe not quite 15. Well, maybe it has been. Wow. So Mike Zaker and I, we were actually in the same band, just not at the same time. By the time I got into First Shove, he had left, and he was more focused at that point on his solo career, again, performing as Michael Spaulding. And some of his music did get some airplay in the Boston radio market, for example. And I'm not sure where else, but possibly even beyond that, because a lot of what he was putting out, really good, excellent. Like I said, he was a great guitarist, very strong as a vocalist and as a songwriter, and the production was great and very, commercial enough that I can see where he probably got a significant amount of airplay based on the music that he was putting out. But so he was focused on his solo career. So he and I had been in the same band, but not at the same time. But I have a very nice memory, and I'm really glad that I have this memory of Mike. And that is, he and I did get to share the stage one time. And it's something that's always been a really cool moment for me. And of course, now it takes on a new level of importance in terms of my memories of when I was active as a musician before, becoming more focused on radio. So it was while I was still in the band First Shove. Rich Burke, who is the one member of First Shove who was in every incarnation of the band from beginning to end, because by the time I joined, Rich was the only original member left. But Rich was getting married, and Rich had the idea that at the wedding reception, rather than hiring a DJ or something like that, since he's in a band, how about if the band plays? How about if First Shove does a set at the wedding reception? And as it happens, so, Rich, of course, not only had he been in a band with Mike, but, they remained very close friends. So Mike was invited to the wedding, and Rich invited Mike to play with us, which worked out perfectly because First Shove had always had 2 guitar players, but we were actually down a man because Dave Scrow had left the band, and we continued without him. First Shove continued without him. Dave is the one who replaced Mike Zaker. Mike Zaker was replaced by Dave Scrow when Mike left the band. Well, then Dave left the band because he got very busy with other things. So we actually continued, rather than replacing Dave right away, we just kept on playing as a 4-piece. So, we still had Rich on guitar. So, yeah, it was just kind of different. It was kind of interesting to do a kind of a stripped down version of First Shove with only 1 guitar instead of 2. And it was kind of fun, It was, it changed our sound a little bit. It made it a little more, like I said, a little more stripped down, a little more raw. So it was just different, but that worked out perfectly for Rich's wedding reception because Mike Zaker, he came and played guitar with us. So it was kind of like a mini First Shove reunion in a sense, because for one night, for that one show, it was like he was back in the band. And so I got to play with him that night. So that was the one time in my life that I shared the stage at the same time with Mike Zaker. And so to get to play a set with him was really, really cool. And I remember sort of kidding with him afterwards. I said to him after our set, and I may not have been the only one who said it to him that night, by the way, but I did say to him, I said, "Hey, man, that was great. I loved playing with you. I'd love to do it again. You should come back to the band." But I said it sort of half kidding because, even though I would have really liked that, but number one, it wasn't my place. If anyone was going to say that to him, it should have been Rich, not me. So I wasn't necessarily being serious, but also too, I knew he wasn't going to, because he was very focused on his solo career at that point, which, like I said, he was having a lot of success with. So no reason for him to change direction at that point. But it was so cool getting to play with him that night. I really enjoyed that a lot. So, and again, somebody I just had so much respect for as a musician and all that he was doing. And he's got a lot of music. He put out a lot of music. And we're going to feature a number of his songs tonight. Nothing from his time in First Shove, unfortunately, because I don't have anything that I could find, any recordings of him in First Shove that were radio quality, unfortunately. There might be something out there that I don't know about, but I couldn't find anything. I wish I could. But what we will do is I'll play a bunch of his solo material on this week's program. But I'm going to open up with something that I found of his that I really like a lot. Not of his solo work, but of a band he was in, a new band. Apparently he had formed a band called Into the Sun, and in April they released their first single called The Flood. And I listened to this and I really like it a lot. So this will be our opening track this week on the show. Let's get to it. This is The Flood from the band Into the Sun. And we listen to this great track in memory of our friend Mike Zaker, also known as Michael Spaulding, on this week's Local Outbreak. Check this out. This is really good. Hey, everybody, welcome back to this week's local outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connarton from IPMNation.com here with you. And this week on the show, we are celebrating the life and music, of course, of Mike Zaker, also known as Michael Spaulding, who recently passed away unexpectedly, gone much too soon. And so this week we are featuring his music. But what we're actually going to do next is I'm going to share some audio with you that will help all of us learn a little bit more about Mike. Like I said earlier in the show, I never had the opportunity to get to know him that well personally, just more professionally over the years. But I found on his the YouTube page for his music, there's sort of this mini, it's like a 3-minute documentary that just kind of Mike, in his own words, just kind of telling us about his life up to that point and his music, and sharing a little bit of himself sort of behind the scenes with us. And I should give credit to, so this was directed and edited by Bizio Business Videography out of Marshfield, Massachusetts. Now, of course, we're just going to hear the audio of it on Local Outbreak, but I think this is pretty cool, and it like I said, it kind of takes us behind the scenes of Mike. And let's give this a listen, and then after this, we'll get into some more of his great music. But here it is, and this is on YouTube. This is titled Michael Spaulding, A Look Into My Story.
Michael, what is your story?
Definitely not an ordinary one. My name is Michael Spaulding. I'm originally from Lowell, Massachusetts. I grew up in the foster care system. A little bit after I was born, my biological mother and father put me into a foster home. Still hard to talk about. Once I was 4 years old, my foster parents adopted me, and they're the ones that really got me into music and just enjoying it all. Kind of the whole thing that comes with music is there's got to be tragedy at some point. And shortly after I was adopted, my adopted mother passed away. Wasn't even 5 years old yet. Then my father got me into concerts, music, everything, taking me to sing karaoke and everything. And that was what began my love for music. And once I started getting serious about singing and guitar, whatever, my adopted father ended up passing away a little bit after I was 10 years old. So kind of just had to move in with some other family, and they had to raise me. So it definitely wears on you over the years. But it's great motivation, you know, that they're still with me, making proud, and kind of go from there, I guess. I guess it's the only thing that I've ever been good at. There's just something about it, you know, whether whatever mood sets in. It could be quiet music like jazz, or it could be anger music like metal, hardcore, or rock. There's always something for a mood, and you can only let so much emotions out without finding a way to express yourself or finding something that you can relate to. People have films, people have art, and for me it was music, from the noise, the lyrics, the mannerisms, I guess, the look. There was just always something cool about it. There's a lot of people out there that just see you as a dollar sign, whether it's selling tickets for their venues or giving them a cut for doing absolutely nothing. They'll say that you could play for exposure, but in the long run, to be blunt, it doesn't mean shit, because if you're good enough, things will happen.
There you go. Gives us a little bit of backstory there. And let's get back to the music. This is a sad song, but a great song. This is from the Michael Spaulding album, Through These Eyes. This is called Guaranteed Disaster.
broken heart stories. How can I have faith in less than a heartbeat? You jump into forever, and I don't feel that safe. So I would take a page and tear it right out. Maybe you could see the times are now. Now red roses and Valentine's smiles, a diamond ring promise to walk down the aisle. How can you be so sure? 'Cause I just can't see what this means to you. To push everything without seeing through. Your happy ever afters are guaranteed disaster. I know you keep your vows of faith, but a horse-drawn carriage is not for me. In a perfect world, we could be a family. I can see your point, but I can't say. No red roses and Valentine's smiles, a diamond ring promise to walk down the aisle. How can you be so sure? 'Cause I just can't see what this means to you. To push everything without seeing through. Your happy ever afters are guaranteed disaster. Red roses and Valentine's smiles, a diamond ring promise to walk down the aisle. How can I be so sure? No red roses and Valentine's smiles, a diamond ring promise to walk down the aisle. How can you be so sure? 'Cause I just can't see what this means to you. To push everything without seeing through. Your happy ever afters are guaranteed disaster.
That is Guaranteed Disaster from our fallen friend Michael Spaulding. Let's see. I think we're going to bend the rules a little bit on Local Outbreak. We usually only feature original music. We don't like to play covers usually, but again, this week we are, of course, if you're just joining us, We lost recently from the music scene in the area Mike Zaker, also known professionally as Michael Spaulding. And so this week we are celebrating his life and his music. And he left us a lot of great music, such a talented man. And he did a cover of a song called She's Like the Wind, which was originally, I remember this song when I was a kid, Patrick Swayze, of course, the late great actor who also, I think this is the only song he ever recorded, but it was a big hit at the time. But Michael Spaulding did his own version of it, his updated version, and it is really good. Check this out. Michael Spaulding, She's Like the Wind.
She's like the wind through my tree. She rides the night next to me. She leads me through moonlight, only to burn me with the sun. She's taken my heart, but she doesn't know what she's done. I feel her breath in my face, her body close to me. I can't look in her eyes, she's out of my league. Just a fool to believe I have everything she needs. She's like the wind. I look in the mirror and all I see is a young old man with only a dream. Am I just fooling myself? Let's just stop the pain. Living without her, I'd go insane. I feel her breath in my face, her body close to me. I can't look in her eyes, she's out of my league. Just a fool to believe I have everything she needs. She's like the wind. I feel your breath in my face, your body close to me. I can't look in your eyes, you're out of my league. Just a fool to believe, just a fool to believe. She's like the wind, just a fool to believe. She's like the wind, just a fool to believe. She's like the wind, just a fool to believe. She's like the
Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's local Outbreak. Matt Connarton here with you on 100.1 The Planet. and of course, IPMNation.com. And this week on the show, we are celebrating the life and the music of Mike Zaker, also known professionally as Michael Spaulding. In fact, if you're looking for any of his solo material online, you should look under Michael Spaulding. That is the name he was largely using, but of course he was known to, on his regular Facebook profile, he was still Mike Zaker, and that's how so many of us in the music scene knew him. But he has passed away unexpectedly at a surprisingly, at a young age. Too young to be gone. It's really terrible. So, but he did contribute a lot to the scene and made a lot of great music. And now we are going to share with you another one of his songs. This was apparently a recent single. There's a video. There's a music video of the song on YouTube. Let's listen to this next. This is called. This is a great song. And again, it shows off that not only an incredible guitar player, but a very strong vocalist as well. And this is Michael Spaulding, and the track is called Tell Me.
I sit alone, flashback to yesterday, when everything was going our way. It seems so long ago, but I know things will never be the same. What did I ever do to you? I know I do not belong to you. What makes him better? Will this last forever? Tell me, why did you have to treat me wrong? Like I was a stranger and never your lover. Please tell me now. At first I was afraid of living and giving up all that I loved, but the life I led was never ever enough. And then I found you, my angel shining bright. I held you oh so tight, but why didn't you let go? It seems the tables have turned when we don't go back. All the love you showed, it seemed to lack a sense of honesty. Don't lie to me, all you wanted was to run. I do not belong to you. What makes him better? Will this last forever? Tell me, why did you have to treat me wrong? Like I was a stranger and never your lover. Please tell me now. And walk out the door, finally realize I love you no more. Thanks for everything, you're dead to me. I'd rather be alone. I do not belong to you. What makes him better? Will this last forever? Tell me, why did you have to treat me wrong? Like like I was a stranger and never your lover. Please tell me now.
There it is. That is Tell Me from Michael Spaulding. Now we're going to go back in time. We're going to go way back in time, couple of decades. We're going to go back to very early in Mike's career. We're celebrating the life and music of Mike Zaker, also known as Michael Spaulding, this week on Local Outbreak. We're going to go all the way back to his days with the Boston band Stoic. And this is a great track. I really was a big fan of this band back in the day. And this is called Falling Into. This is from the album I Conceive, which I think came out in 2001 from the band Stoic. This is Falling Into. This is great. Check this out. I love this track.
Opportunities never meant to hold you back from your success. Visions of a broken opportunities. How we ever end up stuck in this mess? Dreams begin to fade away. I'm not the only witness here. Doesn't have to be this way. I'm not the only witness. One love, no more looking back. One love, no time to react. One love, push me into blame. One love, never felt a change. Walk right into this new love. Never thought that you could force me into this pain. You would walk right into this new love. Never thought that you could force me into this pain. You walk right into this new. Walk right into this you. Walk right into this new. Walk right into this. Walk right into this new love. Never thought that you could force me into this pain. You would walk right into this new love. Never thought that you could force me into this pain. You walk right into this new. Walk right into this you. Walk right into this new. Walk right into this. One love could last a life. One love could waste a lifetime. One love creates the light. One love creates your demise. Walk right into this new love. Never thought that you could force me into this pain. You walk right into this new love. Never thought that you could force me into this pain. You would walk right into this new love. Walk right into this you could force me into this pain. Walk right into this.
I got to hear one more from Stoic. This is also from the album I Conceive, featuring Mike Zaker on guitar. This is called Throb.
It's also hard to realize I can't take this distance in my eyes. I can't fake it. It's also hard to see light when it's taken. It's also hard to feel like I can't make it. It's also hard to realize I can't take it. This distance in my eyes. I can't fake it. It's also hard to see light when it's taken. It's also hard to feel like I can't make it. But we're without love.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this week on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connarton here. Always happy to bring you more great original New Hampshire-based music. And, you know, of course, New Hampshire and the Boston music scene kind of bleed together sometimes. But, of course, happy to do that each week, but also sad on this particular occasion because we have lost someone from the scene, Mike Zaker, also known professionally as Michael Spaulding, passing away. And we have spent the program this week trying to celebrate his life by celebrating his music and his great musical contributions. And, of course, he had a great solo career going, and he had stints in bands like First Shove and Stoic, and it's been a great night of music here on the program. And we're going to wrap up with one more track, actually probably my personal favorite of all of his solo material that I found. I've been listening to a lot of his music this week, trying to figure out what to play on the show. Although one of those tracks I played from Stoic was kind of a spontaneous decision on my part. I just decided I had to cram one more Stoic track in there because I really love that band. But, of course, all the shows are archived at ipmnation.com/local outbreak, all 12 and a half years worth. Yes, it's been 12 and a half years of Local Outbreak, and we are so honored and privileged to continue to have this amazing association with 100.1 The Planet, and so grateful that The Planet continues to support local music in this manner and through this program. Of course, like I said, ipmnation.com/local outbreak. All the shows are archived there. All of our social media links, contact info. If you would like to submit something for the show, I would love to hear from you. You can also email us directly for that, submissions@ipmnation.com. And if you'd like to know more about my other broadcasting and podcasting adventures, you can go to my website, mattconnerton.com. That is mattconnerton.com. And as always, thank you so much to everybody in the local music scene, whether you are an active participant or a passive observer or anywhere in between. Thank you for continuing to support local music. It is so very important. And I'm going to end this week's show. One more track, Michael Spaulding, his album that came out a number of years ago called Through These Eyes. And this is a personal favorite of mine. I really, really like this song. It's so catchy. It's called Chapter 2. And again, this is probably my favorite of his solo material. So rest in peace, Mike Zaker, a.k.a. Michael Spaulding. We will miss you, my friend. And thank you for the music. And here it is, Michael Spaulding, Chapter 2.